Hey guys, it's Flintworth here again. Glad to be alive, gotta say. I'm not sure if you were here last week, but I had a little bit of a run-in with Jason Voorhees. He decided to drop by while I was trying to go and tell you all how to bring him into your games. Guess he didn't like that, but don't worry. As you can see, I came out totally fine with no lasting damage that you can't at least see on camera. Anyway, I wanted to start off today with bringing to you the story of how I actually ran Jason for my game, specifically how I ran him in my Curse of Strahd campaign. Because you see, though Jason, by nature, is a big scary guy, looks basically at times like a brute, or sometimes like a zombie, you can imagine that wouldn't be that hard to get a guy like that into a fantasy realm game. Until you consider the fact that his mask is a hockey mask, and in Curse of Strahd, at least vanilla Strahd, there isn't exactly any hockey to be seen. And no, in case you're wondering, I didn't go and start up a hockey league. Although, it would be kind of badass for those out there looking to do something kind of fun for your games, to run maybe a little in-universe hockey game. You'll have maybe Babala Saga's Witches going up against the Martikov Ravens. Tune in next week and we'll see them go head-to-head for the championship medal! No. Instead, I took inspiration from the Friday the 13th franchise films to go and inspire me with wrapping the big lug into the narrative. Starting off with movie number 1. Believe it or not, Jason is not the first killer in the first movie. No, actually it happens to be his mother. Because you see, he is dead. He has been dead for at least about 10 years, I want to say. And it's been his mother ever since then, doing what she can to keep the camp closed. So, does that mean in Curse of Strahd I went about going and adding in some, campsite? Well, sort of, actually, yes. I did actually went into Photoshop and edited it in. In my game, a particular caravan, I had my players really form a nice and tight bond with over many sessions. And in one particular session, I had them go off to deliver some supplies to that caravan to only discover that the whole camp had been slaughtered. To their horror, they immediately went to investigate. They found all kinds of signs of struggles and problems and issues. They found one lone survivor. An old woman who just seemed to be lamenting how tragic everything played out. For my players who know me and have actually were horror fans like me, they kind of saw a little bit of similarities already, immediately. Because you see, in Friday the 13th Part 1, at the very end of the film, the final girl, or the protagonist, is, you assume, being chased down by the killer, to suddenly be greeted by Pamela Voorhees. And that's what I did to my players. Amongst all this carnage, this saddened, almost world-weary mother could not help but just lament how much this caravan had done wrong by Strahd. You see, Strahd the vampire, the Lord of Barovia, where this game took place, my big bad evil guy, was never been a fan of anyone helping out the heroes. So to have such a group here, so intertwined with my party, of course, the players always assumed something would happen. They just never knew how until that day. After some time talking with this woman, they realized not only was she not from the caravan that was slaughtered in front of them, not only was she actually talking and speaking with Strahd, she made a deal with him. If she went about taking out this innocent caravan, he would bring her son back to life. My players fought with her, they struggled, and in the end, much like Pamela Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 1, her head chopped off. My players, understandably so, applauded me for the whole Friday the 13th reference, and naturally joked like, okay, I can't wait to see how Jason comes in, or can't wait to see, how her son, who in-game I called Jesu, would go about coming after them. And of course, they never realized how right they actually were. I waited 2 months later of sessions when they were off in a random dungeon to introduce a nameless, almost faceless revenant in the background. And like Jason from Part 2, I described how he was tall, bulky, with a sack wrapped tightly around his face. And the second he saw the players coming around the corner, made a beeline for them. Much like the rest of the enemies they fought in this place, took him out like that, which was fine, it was great, because Jason in this franchise wasn't this big behemoth, unstoppable monstrosity right out of the bat. Oh god, no. At first, he was a clumsy-ass fool. And so in the first session, I tried to emulate that with just how clumsy this newborn revenant was trying to go get revenge against his mother's killers. In fact, he actually didn't end up fighting against them. What the players did was they straight up teleported his ass out of there. The second part of this was entirely happened in a matter of minutes. But it's fine, that was good. Because at this point, from then on, he became known as that revenant. They would keep teleporting him away again and again, and he kept coming after them again and again and again, which made it perfect. Because it allowed me to really just go and play with the players, kind of play with their paranoia that this revenant clearly wasn't dying, clearly had a thing out for them. That essentially allowed me to hide Jesu in the soft, safe little shell of an inside joke. Like, oh yeah, guess who's back? It's this guy. Oh, ha ha ha. Ha ha! Not knowing that every time they fought him, he was getting stronger as you learned, as he took blows. Yeah, it wasn't until, like, I guess, really the third part, the third encounter of this story arc, much like the movies, that finally revealed to them exactly who they were dealing with. It all came to a head when they got Jesu tied down into a church that was blessed to be hallowed ground. I remember them bringing Jesu into the church, setting him down, and realizing that despite them all being in this holy place, how Jesu was rising and still moving, getting up in his bonds, that they realized they were dealing with something a bit more than they could have possibly contend. In seeing this, they quickly went off to ask this wizard character to go and tell them what she could about this creature. And the players only had enough time to ask, what should they do? I had Jesu go on the offensive. He did not hold back. And I had planned on my players bringing Jesu to this church. I had set up long beforehand that all the members of the cloth at this church were well known to wear very hockey-like-esque masks, just with a few minor details changed so they wouldn't be too obvious. And of course, it wasn't until the players managed to get the lights all up in the church that they see Jesu on top of the altar, slowly rising, with one of the priest's masks, did I finally reveal through the wizard that this creature was none other than the son of Paulina, Jesu. And that's, of course, when the players went wild, like, oh my god, it's Jason, shit! He almost killed them right then and there. Took every one of their efforts to essentially hog tie him down, to teleport him one last time. It has been almost 2 years since that reveal, and I have always had Jesu somewhere in the background, slowly but surely making his way to the players. For Jesu cannot rest until he finally has vengeance. So there you have it. For any of those out there looking to add in Jason Voorhees to your games, this is what I would recommend. Looking for a 3-part structure like I did, because with it, you have everything I suggested in my prior video. Then you have the motivation, the extended display of his powers, and I can swear, once you finally get to that final part where you get to have your Jason on display, ready to go, ready to rock. Trust me when I say, it feels really good. If any of you go about adding Jason to your games, or have done so before, please let me know how you did it. I would love to hear how other people have gone about it. If you like what you saw here today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you don't want to, that's fine, it's fine. Just know that you're the reason why I cry myself to sleep at night. Either way, I'll see you all next time here on my channel. And until then, take care, stay awesome, and bye!